So, what exactly happens when a fast-court prodigy steps onto the most unforgiving grass in the world? Really, stop for a second and think about it. Grass court tennis is just a completely different beast. The ball skids low, the rallies are lightning fast, and literally one slip in your footwork can cost you the entire match. For a player who built her terrifying reputation on the predictable, steady bounce of hard courts, making that move to grass is the ultimate test of survival. Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're putting a cinematic lens on Alex Eala and deconstructing what I can only really describe as the 2026 Grass Court Crucible. We aren't just going to read off scorelines today, guys. No, we're going to completely obsess over the how and the why of this incredible literal and emotional journey. A journey that totally redefined a young athlete's career and honestly put the entire WTA Tour on notice.
Think of this as Alex Eala's 2026 Grass Court blueprint. We're going to map out this brutal gauntlet she had to run in 5 stages. First, the Grass Court Crucible itself. Second, the Birmingham to Berlin breakthrough. Third, mentorship at Bad Homburg. Fourth, the Wimbledon history maker. And finally, her evolution into the multi-surface threat.
Okay, let's dive into this with Section 1, the Grass Court Crucible. Let's look at where the initial spark of her evolution actually ignited.
You see, this wasn't some gradual, comfortable warming up period. It was a rapid, escalating, and brutal ascent. In week 1, Eala steps under the slick grass at the Birmingham Open and just walks away as the WTA 125 champion, defeating Nikola Bartankova in a total thriller to claim her second WTA 125 crown. Boom! By week 2, she's at the London Queen's Club, pushing all the way to the round of 16. And then week 3, she is in Berlin, just unleashing absolute chaos on the top 10. She didn't just adapt her heavy, hardcore baseline game to a slick new surface, she completely weaponized it.
Moving right along to Section 2, the Birmingham to Berlin breakthrough. This is the giant slaying phase, where she truly put the elite on notice. And this brilliantly illustrates just how staggering the scale of her Berlin run was. Playing as a wild card, the number 29 ranked Filipina systematically dismantled heavyweights, back-to-back. She takes down world number 2 Elena Rybakina in straight sets, 7-5, 6-4. Then, without missing a beat, she immediately follows it up by dominating world number 6 Elena Svitolina, 6-3, 6-4, to book a ticket to the semifinals. I mean, come on, you don't just accidentally beat 2 of the best players on planet Earth on grass.
Which means we have to obsess over the how for a minute here. These victories absolutely were not flukes. They were the result of an elite point construction IQ and a massive physical adaptation. Basically, to win on grass, Eala had to completely recalibrate her kinetic chain. Her heavy left-handed topspin that usually pushes opponents deep on a hard court, yeah, that had to be totally adjusted for the low-skidding grass. She had to bend lower, strike faster, and treat the court like a giant chessboard, adjusting the exact sequence of her body's movements to generate maximum force on a surface that is literally designed to take it away.
All right, Section 3, mentorship at Bad Homburg. Let's shift the tempo for a second and look at the human narrative and the quiet moments of tour life. Right before the deafening roar of Wimbledon, there was the Bad Homburg Open. Eala suffered a tough first-round singles loss here, but the real story was over in doubles. She partnered up with none other than 7-time Wimbledon singles champion Venus Williams, and they reached the quarter-finals together. Just sit with the massive cultural weight of that for a second, will you? The legendary Williams prepping for her own historic return with her sister, passing the torch to the young Filipina star. Venus openly praised Eala and her family, calling them very nice humans, which she noted goes a long way in making you a better tennis player, and really celebrated Eala's fierce competitiveness. That is a profound endorsement from tennis royalty.
Okay, on to Section 4, the Wimbledon history maker. The energy is escalating now because we've reached the climax of this crucible, her debut at the All England Club and a highly personal rematch.
The emotional stakes here were just off the charts. A little over a year prior, at the 2025 Eastbourne final, Eala suffered a truly heartbreaking 3-set loss to Australia's Maya Joint. And Eala actually confessed later that this loss hit her incredibly hard. She cried for months, couldn't even bring herself to watch the highlights. Fast forward to the very first round of the 2026 Wimbledon Championships, and who is waiting for her across the net? Yep, Maya Joint. But this time, it's a completely different story. Eala turns a first-set deficit into a triumphant 3-6, 6-2, 6-0 victory. She literally stared down her past demons and finally avenged that loss. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is exactly how she flipped the momentum when it mattered most. Down a set, with Jaunt holding her opening serve, Eala's back was completely against the wall.
Now, analysts have often pointed to Eala's serve as a bit of a weakness, saying it sometimes lacks pace. But down 15-30, she digs incredibly deep and fires off 2 consecutive aces, clocking in at 105 and a mind-blowing 107 miles per hour. That sudden, unexpected explosion of power completely broke John's rhythm.
Let's just quickly walk through this mental and technical masterclass, step by step. Step 1, survive the initial barrage. Joint came out swinging, fresh off a massive win over Serena Williams, and took the first set 6-3. Step 2, EL uses those huge aces we just talked about to level the second set and seize control. Step 3, she totally breaks Joint's spirit, winning the second set 6-2 and caps it off by executing a brilliant counter drop shot right off Joint's own drop shot. Just incredible touch. And step 4, the grind. The third set featured these long, punishing games, but Eala's tenacity was unmatched. She grinds out a flawless 6-0 bagel to systematically dismantle the world number 87 and finish the match.
So why does all of this matter so much? Because with that final winning point, Alex Eala became the first Filipino to ever win a Wimbledon singles match in the Open era, in front of a wildly loud, de facto home crowd that totally packed the stands at Court 12. History was made. Eala was incredibly emotional after the win, taking time to walk around the court and personally thank the Filipino crowd that literally carried her through those tough moments. It's a massive cultural milestone that goes way beyond just the sport. Finally, Section 5, the multi-surface threat. Let's transition to the overarching analysis of what this incredible run actually means. Simply put, it means the hard court specialist label is officially dead and gone. By taking down the world number 2 and number 6 on grass, capturing that Birmingham crown, making absolute history at Wimbledon, and setting up a massive Grand Slam clash against defending champion Iga Swiatek, Eala has completely evolved. She has transformed into a terrifying multi-surface threat. And the craziest part? Because she had so few ranking points to defend heading into this swing, her window to skyrocket up the global rankings is now wide open. The rest of the tour should be paying very close attention. Which leaves us with one final unavoidable thought to close out this explainer. Look at the resilience. Look at the historical milestones. Look at the tactical genius across completely different surfaces. I want you to really think about this. Is Alex Eala already the greatest Filipina athlete of our generation? Yes or no? Let the debate begin.
Subscribe, like, share, and comment to follow Alexandra Eala's run in the Wimbledon draw. Thanks for watching.